Hey guys, in this video we're doing lesson 5.4, which is on solving quadratics by graphing. A lot of this unit, almost the entire rest of this unit, is going to be finding the solutions, which if you remember back to the last lesson, solutions was another term for x-intercepts. So we're really going to be looking for x-intercepts a lot in this unit. And I'm going to show you a few different methods. So first thing we need to know what the different quadratics look like. So a quadratic that has two solutions, that means that it crosses the x-axis in two spots. So it might look something like this. This quadratic crossed the x-axis, meaning it has two x-intercepts or two solutions. Now, a quadratic that has one solution, it just sits on the x-axis. It doesn't actually cross through, because if it crossed through, it would have to come back and cross a second time. So for one solution, it just has one x-intercept. And then a parabola that has no solutions doesn't cross at all. So it might look something like this. So one of the easier ways to find the solutions is by graphing. So I'm going to walk you through the steps on graphing. If you have the calculator, if you have a calculator with you or you have the one on your Chromebook, I would recommend following through these steps. So the first thing you want to do is click on the y equals button. This button is the very top first button. If there's already anything written in there, anything typed in, go ahead and clear all of those out. And you're going to be over on Y1. So your cursor should be blinking there on the first line. And you're going to type in this part, x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now, when you're using x, we're going to type in equation. Now, for x, you're going to use the button that has the variables x, t, theta, n. Always use this button for x. So I'm going to type in x squared plus 2x minus 3. And then we could look at the graph, but it's easier if we go to the table. So then you're going to click the second button, that's the blue button, and then you're going to click graph. So second graph, and it pulls up a table. And scroll through that table to find the values. That would fit on the graph. So for example, if you scroll to where it says x, and it has -4, we're given the point, the y value, 5. So I can graph the point -4, 5. The next point is -3, 0. Then -2, -3. -1, -4, 0, -3, 1, 0, and 2, 5. And that's all that will fit on the graph. So make sure that you are able to go in and actually find the table. Don't just take what I'm telling you and jot it down. Actually use a calculator to go find the table. And then we can draw in the parabola. And remember, we are looking for the x-intercepts. So those 2 points are the x-intercepts, and they are -3 and 1. Most of the time, you can just write -3 and 1. You don't have to write out the actual point. However, on a multiple choice, it's possible that your answers could look like this: -3, 0, and 1, 0. All right, number 2, let's graph that one. So pull up the calculator and follow along these steps with me. I'm going to tell you what to click. So click the y equals button. Then we're going to type in x squared minus 6x plus 8. Then we click second graph, and that pulls up the table. So we can scroll, if we scroll up a little bit, there's really not a ton of numbers that will, or a ton of points that will fit. So let's see. My graph only goes to like 8. It only has 8 boxes either way. So I'm going to start with 0, 8. Then 1, 3. I'm back to my paper. I'm graphing these. 1, 3. 2, 0. 3, -1. 4, 0. 5, 3. And 6, 8. And that's all that will fit. And my parabola looks something like that. So our x-intercepts are 2 and 4. The problem with always doing it this way is that many times your x-intercepts are not a nice, neat point, so you wouldn't even be able to tell based on your table. So the table and the graph is really good if they turn out nice, but you're probably not even going to know that just by looking at it. All right, number 3. Follow along. So let's go to y equals. Now remember, you always have to clear out your equation. And then we're going to type -x squared minus 11x minus 28. Then we click second graph to look at the table. And I'm probably going to have to scroll up quite a bit to find some numbers that I can use. So the first one I can use is -7, 0, -6, 2, -5, 2, -4, 0, -3, -4. Now also I missed, I could have done -8, -4. So I'm going to go back and fill that one in. And notice this one, it looks like here at the top it would go straight over, but parabolas don't do that. The vertex on this one just happens to go up just a little bit like that. Just like that. And we're looking for these x-intercepts. So -7 and -4. That's all for graphing. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.